Sup chat? Today we're gonna be taking up Goldfire's challenge of rating every single Lego castle set ever made. This is kinda insane. Let's just jump straight into it. First up we got the yellow castle. It's yellow because Lego didn't used to make grey bricks at all in fears of people making military mugs out of them. I don't like the minifigures that much, or the horses, but it's a good start to a long and prosperous journey. Next up we got the castle minifigures. It's really nothing, just more minifigures, although they are better than the ones in the yellow castle, still not anything great. Now we got the Knight's Procession. It's kind of a battle pack. It's alright. Next up we got the Knight's Joust, and this is first of many joust sets. This is unfortunately the worst one of those, so it's not gonna get great marks. Now the next one is Castle Figures. It's a bit better than the previous one, a bit more variety in the prints and the accessories, but still nothing great. The next one is Castle Minifigures. Again, really nothing. But now we get to the kind of actual start to Lego Castle with a surprisingly nice one. It's a peasant, which I really do appreciate. It introduces us to the horse, and they still use the same, usually the same horse mold even nowadays, so it's a solid beam. The next one would be Jousting Knights, which is the first time we get the saddle piece, I believe, and it's a pretty solid one. There's the Black Falcons already in there, so that's pretty cool, you know. I do love the Black Falcons, so it's gonna get a C tier. Next up we've got the horse cart. A slightly less glamorous version of that one. Now, there's a catapult, and I wish they made catapults nowadays, because I really do love them, but this one is not the best. There's the cool Black Falcons, but it's just gonna get a C tier. Now, the blacksmith shop. I love the idea of a blacksmith shop with a piece of the wall, but it's not quite gonna reach the A tier for me. But now, with the siege tower, ho ho ho! It's crazy good. Like, just look at it. There's a accurate, like, a nice piece of wall, but the siege weapon is what I think makes it even worthy of an S tier. I know. That might be a crazy take, but that's my take. Now with the Knight's Castle, the first Black Falcon's Castle, it's okay. I think my dad used to own this. It's a solid B tier castle, whereas the King's Castle, I feel like it's way bigger, but it just does a lot less with the pieces that it has, so it's gonna unfortunately be a C tier. Now, the castle figures. Here we have the Black Falcon, but also the Crusaders, and some like grilled breastplate figures. It's alright. I'd rather have this than any of these battle packs, so yeah. Okay, now we've got the Black Knight's Treasure. I love the grey treasure chest. I don't think they used to make them in brown back then, but otherwise it's not the best set, so it's gonna get like a D. But the Prisoner Convoy is pretty good. I love these kind of carriage things, and 4 horses for this set makes it absolutely be a B tier set. Next up, we've got castle minifigures. Here we got the Lion Knights as well as the Black Falcons, and this is definitely better than any of the other ones so far. So it's gonna get a good C tier. Now a siege card, Lion Knights siege card. I can definitely see where it is going with this, and it's pretty good. I don't think it's as good as the battle pack or these other C tiers, so yeah, to D it goes. Next up, we've got the Maiden's card. It introduces us to the Maiden, or the regular castle princess, but it's not that great. I don't like the kind of blockiness of it. They definitely made better ones in the upcoming years. Now the armor shop though is pretty cool. Yeah, that's just a good C tier. Oh, they guarded in already. Wow. I love these kind of more peasantry or like regular townsfolk sets. So, are we looking at the first A tier? Not quite. It's almost there. Now, Black Falcon's Fortress. I think this is my favorite Black Falcon's castle. It introduces us to the kind of more curving elements, and the yellow piece up there is really cool. I wish I had those pieces, like 10 of those, and just make a really cool looking castle. It's definitely gonna be an A tier for me. Okay, next up is the Knight's Arsenal. The 3 boingy things, pipes, aren't really my thing, so it's gonna get an F. Sorry. Like King's Oarsman. It's a boat which is pretty cool, but yeah, nothing special. Now the Castle Guard, I always thought was one of the like pretty cool castle sets, because you can, you know, put these guard posts almost anywhere in your fantasy world, and like have, yeah, just like a cool little guard post. So it's a C. And the Viking Voyager, the first Viking set, wink wink, it's actually way better than the Black Serpent, so we're gonna put it into C tiers. Now Battering Ram, that's a good set. It's not as good as that one, but definitely I love the tower, and I wish we had this remade someday. Now we already get to the Forestman. I absolutely love the Forestman. The camouflaged outpost is absolutely incredible. I love the like hiddenness of all of it, and the black trees. It makes the trees feel like shadows, sort of. So yeah, it's an A tier. Damn. Okay, Knight's Challenge. This is the first time we get the horse partings, and I really do love the horse partings, but it's still not that great, so it's gonna get a D tier, unfortunately. Next up, we've got the Black Monarch's Castle. I do like myself a good black castle. I think I've also got both the horse partings right here with me. They're really cool. But it's not quite as good as the Forestmen or the Black Falcon siege machines so far. So it's gonna get a good B tier. Next up, we have castle minifigures. This is definitely better than any of these. Better than these. A little bit better than those as well. Okay, next up, twin arm launcher. It has a nice horse barding and a pretty good. I feel like there could be way more minifigures in this set to make it pop a little more, but it's overall pretty good, like a solid C tier. Okay, Forestman's Hideout. Now we've got recently a gift with purchase made with this, like modernized, but I think this is still better than that one. That might be crazy to say again, but I love the trees, you know, like I love the, yeah, it's just really good. It goes up there, up to A. I like it that much. Now, Smuggler's Hayride. Not doing much, but what it does is pretty good, so another C tier. And now, Forestman's River Fortress. I don't like it as much as the other Forestman sets. I feel like there's a lot of open, empty space there, but it's otherwise pretty cool, so it's gonna be a B tier. Next up is the Crusader's Cart, and I mean, yeah, it is a solid set, but nothing really special there. Next up is the Battle Dragon. You can't even fit a minifigure inside there. Otherwise, it could be okay-ish. It's also a really small set, just a handful of parts. Next up is the Black Monarch's Ghost. It introduces us to the classic Ghost. Unfortunately, I don't have any, which is kind of weird. But you can't really even connect the castle part there to any existing castles, so it's gonna be pretty low, like a D tier. Next up, we've got the Dungeon Hunters. It's okay. Just okay. Next up, the Night Stronghold. Now, I would like this to be like a fully rotational castle, but it's pretty cool nevertheless. I do love the doors, even though in real life they don't make up the full, like there's a small gap which irritates me a lot. It's not even that small, it's like 1/3 of a stud. So, but yeah, otherwise I do love the catapult. It's very cool, so that's gonna be a good B tier for sure. Now, Forestman's Crossing, no doubt, just S tier. It's so good. It's just so good. Now, King's Mountain Fortress. I feel like a lot more could have been done. Like just one more layer where you can see there's like just the shooting places. But it's not the worst. It's the first base plate, like raised base plate thing. It's alright. Another B tier probably for me. And now King's Catapult. There's really nothing there. Next is the treasure card. I wish they'd give us these chrome pieces, but I don't think they made those back in the day yet. It's like barely makes it out of the F tier. Now, Dual Defender. It's okay actually. It's not too bad. I quite like it. It's a solid C tier. Next up is the Black Knight's Guard Check. It's actually way better than this one, because you can actually imagine this being a part of another castle. And there's like, I like the spears that come out of it, so it's definitely gonna be more in the C tier. Now, this is just called the Black Knight, which is pretty funny, but it's not really doing much. I do like the things here, I don't know what they're called. It's gonna be a C tier. Now, okay, this is gonna be so controversial. I don't see what anybody sees in the Wolfpack. I don't like them. Like, what's the deal? Like, they're just a less cool forestman. Like, what? F tier. I'm gonna get flamed for this, but you know. No, Sea Serpent. That's an A tier. Classic set, really good. Wolfpack Tower. The first big ugly rock piece here. It's gonna get an F. I know I'm gonna get flamed. I don't care. Damn. Next up is the Black Knight's Castle, and that's actually a really good castle. You can see the yellow castle pieces there, and the overall menacing look of that. I love it. A tier. Let's go. Next is the Black Knight's Bow. Not doing much. Yeah. Next up is the Ghostly Hideout. Another F tier. King's Archer. Another F tier. Like, these just aren't really doing anything. Like, they're okay small sets, but like, what are you really gonna do with those? You can't collect an army, or you can't. I guess you could add them to like a forest, but it's really boring. Next up is the King's Catapult, another one of those. Now, Battering Ram, it's actually not a bad set. Like, you get the. You can see how that is a battering ram, like, definitely, and I like battering rams. So it's it might be even a C tier, yeah. Next is Magisto with his magic shop. There is a glow in the dark wand, but otherwise it's another one of those small sets, but it's way better than the other ones, so it's gonna definitely go at least to the top of D tier. Okay, now we get to the Dragon Knights, finally. It's the Dragon Defender. I don't quite know what they're doing there, but it's not very great. Okay, now it's the Magisto's Magical Workshop, which it's pretty good. They made a remake recently of this set, and it's way worse, so this has to be at least like a B. That seems pretty good, yeah. Next up is the Dragon Wagon, which is a really funny name. It's not a great set though. I like the flag, but it's otherwise just not great. It's gonna go into D tier. Next up is more big ugly rock pieces with the Fire Breathing Fortress. Nope, the Dark Dragon's Den, sorry. Very large pieces. Sorry. Next up is the Fire Breathing Fortress, which is definitely better than that one, but still not great. Okay, and then is the Medieval Knights, and I kinda do like all the flair that's in there. The Wolfpack kinda brings it down, but otherwise, it's. Where are the other battle packs? It's definitely better than this one, so yeah, there we go. Now it's the Crossbow card. It's better than these, but it's still gonna be an F tier. Yep, and next up is the Dragon Master Chariot. I wish we got a dragon with the Dragon Master, and the Chariot really kind of looks kind of weird, but it's okay. Next up is Magisto's Tower. Nope. Okay. Next up is Wizard's card, Magisto's card. I wish they'd give him more like more unique items to have in the card, but yeah, it's not the worst thing in the world. Next up is the Royal King. I do love myself some chrome pieces. I would buy one of these probably. So yeah, there we go. Next is Skeleton Surprise. Now, again, you could maybe feature this in one castle or another, so it's definitely better than those ones, but still not great. Just up from there. Here we have the King's Carriage. It's quite a nice set actually. Better than the King. So yeah, it's gonna go like up here. It's pretty good. I like the overall feel of it. Yeah. Next up we have the Royal Drawbridge, which Castle 2007 did it better, but still the drawbridge function is pretty cool, so I'll give it a C tier. Now we have the Royal Knight's Castle. That's actually one of the best castles. Damn. Okay. Wow. Wowee. Okay. Now we get into the Dark Forestmen. One of my favorite factions of all time. I have to admit the main base isn't that great, but it's still pretty freaking cool, so it's gonna get a B tier for me. Now we have the crossbow bolt. Yep. But now the bandit ambush, I actually quite like it. It could go very well into like any forest there is, so it's gonna get another B tier, even though it's a smaller set. And now we have this Hemlock Stronghold. There are those big ugly rock pieces, but it's definitely better than this one, so it gets up here. Yeah. Okay, then that was the Dark Forestman already. Damn. Now we get to the Fright Knight, sorry. And we have Basil the Batlord, and recently they made this fucking awesome figure, which is based on Basil the Batlord, obviously. And they just made it better nowadays, but still, the flying machine is pretty cool. I don't really know what the flying machine is doing in a castle setting, but maybe we can kind of ignore that. Otherwise, it's a pretty cool set. This is the first smaller set to get like a B. Yeah. Okay. Next up, we've got the Witch and Fireplace, introducing us to Willow the Witch. It's definitely not as good, but it's not bad. I love the wizard's hat on her. Then we have Stone Bomber. Yeah. The crossbow card in this one is actually pretty cool, because you get the shields. These ones are better, but you know. So you can... Yeah, this one's actually pretty good. And now we have the Bat's Lord. And I don't know why, but I like that so much, because you get the Black Dragon, which is one of my favorite dragons, and Basil the Batlord. It's just kind of awesome, and this probably costed like next to nothing back then, so nowadays it costs 26 euros. I will not be spending that much on that one. Next up is the Batlord's Catapult. Definitely not as cool as the previous ones, it's just gonna go there. Now it's Witch's Windship. I definitely don't know what they're doing with the taillights either, but It's really bad. It's bad, yeah. Next up we have a way better set, Trader Transport. I like the wings that are kind of everywhere. I like the barding. Yeah, a really good set actually. So yeah. Next is the Witch's Magic Manor. A lot of the big ugly rock pieces. Willow the Witch has a fucking helicopter. Yeah. Now we get to a way better set. Night Lord's Castle. That's good. That's better than this one for sure. Yeah, really nice set. Next is the, I don't know why, but there's the shell logo there. The fire card. One of the better smaller, like really small sets, like $5 sets. Yeah, it's a solid C tier. Next up is the flying machine, which is a way better version of the previous flying machine, but it does have the disadvantages of not containing chrome pieces, but it's still, I think it's still better. It's not gonna getting out of B tier though. And now we have the catapult cart with another basil. That's definitely worse. It's gonna get here as well. And now we have the crazy Lego King. I love chrome so much, and this one has the crown and a silver piece up there. It costs 21 euros nowadays, which is crazy, but this is a, yeah, that seems pretty good. Yeah. Okay, now we get into the ninja / samurai category. We've got the master and heavy gun. Actually okay. A bit better than these, definitely better than Willow. Yeah, a pretty solid seats here there. Ninpo water spider. Yup. Anyways. Ninpo big bat. Yup. No, actually this one's better. You could actually hang that up there and it would be pretty okay. Next up is the Samurai Swordsman. The Swordsman figure is kinda cool, but not cool enough. Okay, next up is Treasure Chest. I love the helmet and the bat. So this will be in here. It's actually gonna be here-ish. Yep. Next up is Fright Force with like a kind of a battle pack for her, but you can't really use that as a battle pack because there's two named characters there. But pretty good. Up here, yeah. Next up is the Treasure Transport. Not really doing much. So there. Here's the Ninja Surprise. A lot of big ugly rock pieces, but this time it's actually pretty cool. I like the glider and the settings, so it's gonna get a C, like a high C for me. Yeah. And then there's the Samurai Stronghold. It's okay. Just okay. The Robber's Retreat has the cool glider, but a lot of big ugly rock pieces, and yeah, it's just not that great. So it will get like a D tier. Stone Tower Bridge. Now this is very cool. Very cool. Does it get A tier? No. No, it does not. The Flying Ninja Fortress is not as cool, but still not that bad. Now we have Shanghai Surprise, one of the better bows so far. A couple of Kais there. Yeah, it's a solid C as well. Next up is Zane. White Ninja. He does look really like Zane though. Zane is my favorite. Comment down below who's yours. I like Zane. He gets a C. Next up is the Blaze Attack, and there's a cannon. I fucking love cannons. So yeah, that's kind of a flamethrower. That's actually a really cool set. That gets a B tier at least for me. That's so cool. Next up is the Ninja Fire Fortress and Emperor's Stronghold. Not really doing much, just kind of less than average sets for me. Now there's quote-unquote cards. Wowee. That's really creative, guys. Yep, that's a horrendous. That's one of the worst things I've ever seen. Yep. Now is the Ninja Master's boat. Yep. Okay. Next up is the Ninja Shogun's mini base. That's a cool helmet. The bricks there aren't really doing anything, so that's gonna bring it down, but it's there. Next up is the Ninja Knights. Now that's a pretty cool army builder. Definitely up there. Yeah. Okay, now we get to King Leo already. This is going kind of fast, as you can definitely see here. Yeah, not really anything special. Richard's arrow seed. Okay. Bull's fire attacker. I do kinda like the bulls. But still, this one's nothing crazy. Weasel Stone Bomber, again, nothing crazy. One minifig pack. Even though the minifig's okay, I don't quite like the idea. And this one, the minifigures are even worse. Now there's two Lloyds, and there can never be two Lloyds, so, you know. Next up is the Axe Cart. That's actually a pretty good one. That gets a solid C tier. What's next? The King's Catapult. A weird image. Way out of proportion. But... C tier. Yeah, that seems appropriate. Dungeon. That's a cool chrome piece, so... C tier for you. Next up is the Dragon Rider, which has two really cool pieces. The helmet is fucking cool. So this high beam. Yep, that's cool. That's cool. And I do believe I have the shield from this one. Perhaps. The Bull's attack wagon. It's not a great set otherwise, so it gets a D. King Leo. It's bad. Sorry. I feel like I have nothing to say for a lot of these, because there really isn't a lot of to say for a lot of these. Cannibal Crusher. It's a cool-ish catapult, so it gets there. King Leo's castle is... It's like a dreamy, Disney-ish castle. It's kind of cool, but not one of the better castles, so it gets to a C tier. Guard treasure, worse than that, a D tier. Royal joust, cool bardings, one of the better joust sets actually, so it gets somewhere over there. Bull's attack is just a great set, just a great set. Yeah. Wait, there we go. Yep. Now we have the blacksmith shop. This is one of the first mock / idea sets. This was from a fan creation. So that's a pretty cool thing. The actual build is okay. So I guess it's a high C tier. Yeah. Now we have my favorite things of all time. Yup, 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 and yup. But now the Knights Kingdom 2, I believe, Vladek Encounter is actually a pretty cool set. I like the... Yeah, that is a cool set. And it's not so cool that it would get like a B or above, but it's pretty cool. Now we have the Border Ambush. I actually quite like that. Yeah. There. And now we have the Grand Tournament, and I have those horses somewhere, but I don't know where currently. But it's not great, is it? Citadel of Orlan. This has really cool play functions. One of the best play functions in any castle set ever. So that's definitely gonna get it a B, at least. Now the Castle of Moria. I like the note to the Castle of Moria. But it's a pretty cool set otherwise too. Like you can turn the, I believe, yeah, you can turn the things around to make it a Vladek's castle. So that's a pretty cool play feature when the castle gets overrun. So yeah, definitely at least a B tier. Yep. Next up is the Vladek Siege Engine. Siege machines, I do like him. Solid C tier. Next up is the Knight's Castle Wall. Really nothing special to see here. Now there's the Catapult. Really invented name there. There isn't even a single minifigure there, so that's gonna get an F. Now Vladek. I do like some Vladek in my life. Jayco. Not that much. And again. There we go. Knight's Attack Barge. It's really weird, like sort of fantasy. I don't quite like it. It's gonna get a D tier. Dark Fortress Landing though is one of the better sets from this, so it's gonna be better than these, so up there is what I would say. Fireball Catapult. I do like the kind of darker vibes at this. It's gonna get a C tier as well. Battle Wagon. Wagon these nuts. Not really anything that great. King's Siege Tower. Better than that one, but not so great. Scorpion Prison Cave. A really cool scorpion with the escape from prison theme there. Definitely a C at least. Vladek's Dark Fortress. Now, I would have loved to have this as a child. It's still pretty cool, but it definitely... The overall thing about the Knight's Kingdom is that all the soldiers are like the heroes, so like kind of like Power Rangers or some anime. So it's not that great, but it's still a good C tier as well. Lord Vladek and King Jaco with their own kind of catapults actually get a D tier. They're not as bad as the construction figures. The other figures are still that bad though. Battle at the Pass introduces us to the naked knights, but otherwise it's a pretty fucking cool set. It's obviously ripping off the fucking Lord of the Rings Battle at Helm's Deep or Battle, yeah, but still, it's a solid C tier. Rogue Knight Battleship, again with the naked men. It's just so weird, like I could not imagine playing with those and feeling like, oh yeah, whoa, knights. I'm sorry, I know that's gonna upset some people, but that's fine. Gargoyle Bridge though is a really cool bridge. It's a really cool bridge. Boom. Mistlands Tower, also a really cool set. So there we go. Next up is the King's Castle. I don't really know what this even is, but it's okay. Just okay. Now we get to one of my favorite themes. Starting off Vikings with, Viking Warrior challenges the Fenris Wolf. I love all the Viking sets. This is one of the worst ones, definitely, but it still is a solid C tier, upper C tier in my eyes. Now, I love this dragon. He's my baby. I keep him next to my bed. The Siege Tower, or the card, Viking Catapult, gets a lot of hate, but the Nidhogg dragon is so cool. I love the wing pieces, and I love the theming and setting and all of that, so that gets a solid A tier from me. Next up, we have the Viking Double Catapult versus the Armored Ofnir dragon. One of the best sets of all time in my humble opinion. The Armored Dragon is so cool. I can't wait to buy this set, but unfortunately it's quite expensive on the aftermarket, but it still deserves an S. Next up we have Army of Vikings with Heavy Artillery Wagon. The Vikings in this are just amazing, like nothing to complain about there. But there's no enemy for them to fight, and I feel like in this era especially you should definitely have like sort of a balance in every set. At least somewhat, not of course like 100%. Next up is also one of the best value sets of all time, Viking boats against the Wyvern Dragon. I love this little guy, he's so silly. And the boat is great, it's just made of two smaller boats, but that's fine. Yeah, a really good set. Not quite as good at this one, so it's gonna go to the top of A tier for me. Next up we have Viking ship. Next up we have Viking ship challenges the Midgard Serpent. This is an amazing set. I absolutely adore it, and you can shoot these. The shoot mechanic isn't really that great, but yeah, it's a great set. I have two of these actually. Yeah, nothing more to say. It's just an easy S tier for me. There we go. And for the last Viking set, we have the Viking Fortress against the Fafnir Dragon. I would love to have this, obviously, but I feel like if you've seen the concept art for this, I can put some on the screen now. It's way better than the dragon. I feel like when they did the other creatures as well as the dragon, it's better. So it's gonna get middle B for A. Sorry, for me. But yeah, that was the Vikings. I absolutely adore them, if you can't tell. But now, for the highlight of the video, we have the final joust. All of these minifigures from Fantasy Era Castle are so cool. The joust set is definitely one of the best joust sets that we've ever seen. It's gonna get a low A for me. Next up we have the skeleton ship attack. This is an amazing set, and fucking amazing set. Although the downside of this is that you can't really tell that this is only gonna be like half a boat, but still, it's so cool. Just look at it. It's so cool. Yeah, and the castle portion of this set is also way underrated. It's such a good set. Easy, an easy S tier for me. Let's see how we order this actually. Yeah, that seems to be okay order. Next up is the Dwarves Mine, introducing us to the orcs and also the big thick trolls. This is probably one of my favorite fucking figures of all time. It's so good. It's so great. It's perfect. It's really close to perfect. Also, this is the Dark Dwarf from the minifigure series, but these are also one of my favorite factions. So nothing to come like this. It's just the set is also really cool. Yeah, just really good. Okay, crossbow attack. Now this is a little bit more meh. The rubber band has worn out, or my rubber band has worn out over time. It doesn't really fire at all anymore. But still a good set though. Solid B tier. Now we have the Skeleton's Prison Carriage. For me, it's an easy S tier as well. Not the highest S tier, but still very, very good. I just love the three separate skeleton figures and the story that's being told there. Every single part of it. Okay, now we have the Knight's Catapult Defense. It's not as good, but still deserves an A. There's kind of the wall piece for the skeletons. I wish we'd gotten a skeleton castle. Yeah, that's the word. We're literally in a Lego castle video. Come on, Nixon. Yeah. Next up is the Skeleton Tower. I love this set. I adore this dragon. He's such a silly little guy. There's also the Skeleton Tower. Womp 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 womp. Okay, it's probably not the top of S tier, but it's very good. Very good. King's Castle Siege. I believe I own the parts for 3 of these. And this dragon is also, I have it dropped down from my ceiling. It's a cool dragon. Yeah, just a really good kind of basic castle. I feel like the opposition could have gotten a little bit more with this set, but still, I mean, they do have a dragon, so it's a good A tier. Let's put it there. Skeleton Chariot, like a C tier, yeah, D tier, yeah. Knight and Catapult. I do love the nice figures in this series as well, but that's not gonna get higher than that. Now we have the Good Wizard. I love the wizards as well. They're just so pristine and like old and wise, and just the perfect addition to any fantasy set. So it's gonna be a B for me. Next up we have the Knight, just a good old regular Knight. Sorry. Troll Warrior. I love the trolls. They do tend to break off their arms sometimes, but that's, you know, that's fixable, I guess. It's a little bit better than the normal Knight. Next up we have the Tower Raid, and when I said I love siege machines, this does absolutely everything for me. Like, you can just pound on this on the enemy's wall. Oh my god, it's so good. It's so good. It's easily an S tier for me. Next up is the Troll Assault Wagon. I unfortunately do not own this set, but I think it's pretty good. The trolls are always cool, but nothing really special about that. That same cannot be said for the Troll Battle Wheel, which is one of the funniest Lego sets I've ever seen. It makes me think of the not Indiana Jones, Pirates of the Caribbean scene. You know the one. And it's really funny. So for me, it's an easy A tier. Next up is the Dwarf's Mine Defender. I have like 5 of these, but it's not really anything that great to show off. So it gets like a C tier. Yeah. Next up is a fan favorite, actually, and that is the Troll Warship. Now, a lot of people give this a lot of credit, which a lot of it deserves, but there are some critiques which I feel like are appropriate as well. The launching mechanic doesn't really work at all. But otherwise, there could be a little bit more minifigures, but it gives us my favorite dragon of all time. Just look at him, he's magnificent, absolutely magnificent. I keep him on my bedside as well. So yeah. Next up we have Trolls Mountain Fortress. Actually on this one as well, and the minifigures are so good. These are one of my favorite minifigures as well of all time, and you get these two guys with their darker armor color, their massive clubs, and all kinds of cool stuff comes in this. And I love the kind of jagged, rusty look of the fortress as well. Easily one of my favorite sets. Yeah, whew. Such a good set. Okay, next up is the Drawbridge Defense. Again, a really good set. A really fine addition. I especially like the Knight in the Golden Armor. I think I have him as well, but I don't know where. Yeah, just a really good set. Goes for a lot nowadays. 150, that's crazy. Next up is the King's Battle Chariot. It's not as good as the others in this one. I think it goes even below that one, somewhere around there, unfortunately. Now we have the Medieval Market Village. How does this Fantasy Era castle keep producing bangers? It's probably somewhere around there. Really high. Really high. Now that we have the Advent Calendar, I wish Lego still made these, because they are so good. Like, you get so many awesome figures. Like, I think this Prince came from it. Amazing figure. And this Queen also. Nothing to complain about. Like, it's just fucking crazy good. Okay, now we have the battle packs. First we have the like Knights, King's battle pack or something. Where is it? I can't find it from the brick set here. But trust me, if this was in stores today, I would spend all of my money on these. Like these battle packs, it would all go away. They are still just battle packs though, so. And the Skeletons ones is one of the less favorable ones, so it gets a high B tier. The Dwarves one's an absolute A tier. And the Trolls one, I know they can't probably do a big fig in this size, but it's good as well. Yeah. Now we get to another really good one. Lego Kingdoms. The first castle is okay. It's a good solid, normal castle. Nothing really special about that. But the next one, I love this one. Like, everything's just pretty perfect about this one. Like the story and the scenery it tells is so good. Somewhere around there. Yeah, I love it. The Outpost Attack, which is this one, not that great. A B tier. It's just kind of basic, unfortunately. But these ones are actually pretty good for such small costs and packs. Like a good catapult, 2 good knights, and just an overall. Oh, sorry. This one was from this one actually. So, yeah. Again, the not as good as this one, but still a solid A tier. I wish they'd still make these, man. These small ones, nothing special, but I do love the wizard though. It's yeah. Yep. There. Okay. Yeah. Next up, these two really not doing much, but there are still kingdoms with the cool ass figures, so... Okay, now these battle packs I would spend a lot of money on as well. Trust me, they would... I especially love the capes that come in these two. That was supposed to go here as well. Now we have the Blacksmith Attack, a really good retake on the old set, and I think, yeah, that's right there, but we're gonna put that one tier above it because it's such a good set. It also has risen in market value quite a bit from its launch. Now we have Escape from the Dragon's Prison. I'd argue it's not as cool as this one, but still pretty cool, so it gets like a middle A tier. King's Carriage Ambush, I'm not the biggest fan of this. It's okay, and the video game that was based around this King's Carriage Ambush was pretty good. So it's like a solid B. Next up is one of any Lego collector's favorite set of all time, and it came with a goat. Unfortunately, I only have this one. It's still cool, but not as cool as the other greatest of all time, and that's easily gonna go here. I'm so jealous of my friend that has this one. Now is King of Joust, another fan favorite set. I personally don't really find it that much more engaging than the this castle, but it's a bit better, so it gets to the top of the A tier. Now we unfortunately have to say goodbye to the kingdoms, as this is the line that killed it, the 2013 castle. Now, a lot of people hate on this theme, but I actually quite appreciate it. I made my first ever stop motion video. It's trash. I don't think I wanna find it and put it in this video to show you, but I don't think I wanna do that. But still, the figures are cool, and the forest ambush is something that definitely could go on in a forest. Like the set, like I like the dressing of the set, so it's gonna be a solid top of B tier for me. Yeah. Actually, I made my first ever stop motion on this, so it's gonna be an A tier. Gold Getaway, it's okay, just okay. Now we have the Gatehouse Raid, one of the better ones with a cool ass horse riding. That's a good B tier, right? Yeah. The Dragon Mountain, I so wish I had this as a child, but as I don't, I can't really say much for it. It's way worse than the Skeleton Tower, that's for sure. But I wish I had gotten the dragon, because the dragon reminds me of Smog, and that's kind of cool, I guess. Yeah, there. The King's Castle, actually a really cool castle, I have to admit. I like I like the drawbridge and the things. Yeah, I do like it quite a bit. Is it better than this one? No, but it's pretty close actually. Now these battle packs I will consider as equals to these, because I like the dragon, and the minifigures are really good. They have a lot of not painting, but printing, yeah, that's the word. So yeah, I would love to. I don't know, this is a classic Knights minifigure pack, so that's gonna go just to the same place as the other classic nice minifigure pack, so which is somewhere over here. But now we get to the really interesting pieces. First up we have the medieval blacksmith. No, that's a really cool set, but I don't think it just doesn't get to the S tier for me, unfortunately. Definitely A tier though. Yeah, that reintroduces us to the castle theme from a long hiatus, so I do appreciate that a lot. Next up we have the Creator Black Falcon's Castle 3-in-1. It's very good. The dragon that comes with it is kind of blocky, but the overall castle is one of my favorite castles actually, so it gets to be somewhere over here. Yeah. Next up is the Forest Hideout, I believe is the set's name. It's a gift with purchase, which I really don't appreciate, because you know what the issue with the gift with purchases are. Like, it does reintroduce us to the forestmen, but I just don't. It's not as good as the first one, firstly, and second, it's a gift with purchase, which means I really can't get my hands on it if I don't spend an absurd amount of money from a reseller, sorry. But way better than that one is the modern reimagining of the Viking ship, and holy hell does this slap! The minifigures are so good, so good. The modern sea serpent is my baby. My baby. Insert my baby here. Isn't he cute? He even has a cute tongue. Yeah. Yeah, just an overall S tier set. Definitely. Next up we have the Lion Knight's Castle, and this is going in the F tier immediately. And it's just because I don't have the money for it, unfortunately. It's such a cool castle. Such a cool castle, but I just can't. It's too much, man. I wish I could, although I will definitely grind to get that. Next up we have the Viking Village. I actually have this coming in the, like, I've ordered it, so it's just a matter of time when it gets here. But when it does, I think I'm gonna enjoy it a lot. Now we have the Magisto's Magical Workshop. As I said previously, I don't appreciate this at all. It's a gift with purchase, and the original wasn't that great anyways, but they still managed to botch it, so F tier. Yep, F tier. And lastly, finally, we have the Medieval Town Square. This is even better than the original Town Square. I love it so much. It's going straight there. And that's it. That's been a long ass video, but thank you so much for watching. Yeah, I'm glad if any of you stick with me all the way through. Thank you. Okay, that's all from me. Goodbye.